Howdy, friends. This is a classic Coca Cola. The most known brand in the world, the product that is sold anywhere in the world you travel to. Let's check it out. This is a classic Coke. This is your regular Coke. No more, no less. But is Coca Cola sold in Russia, the most sanctioned country in the world right now? And do international sanctions actually work restricting sales of Coca Cola in Russia? I'm going to answer this question once and for all with help of this can of classic Coke. Howdy, howdy, friends. My name is Konstantin. Welcome to Inside Russia, where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. As usual, you will not find any propaganda, lies, or BS here. You will find only truth, common sense, and logic, and some emotions, because I'm a human being after all, and some Coca-Cola you will find here today. This live stream will consist of 3 parts: the message, the live stream chat where we discuss and share opinions, and the prayer at the end. So, before I start, I just want to mention that I have recovered from Bell's palsy and I'm back to doing live streams every day. So I want to ask you to hit the like button right now in advance. This will help to promote Inside Russia on YouTube a lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Now, let's start. First things first. Why am I making this video? Because there's a great misunderstanding in the West, well, pretty much anywhere outside Russia, because it's confusing. I've been asked one question a myriad of times. Do the international sanctions actually work? On top of that, there are plenty of people out there, both in Russia and especially in the West, who think that the sanctions do not work. This Russian propaganda, people who deliberately lie, who have sold their souls to the devil, and they spread this kind of information that the sanctions do not work. But also there are foreigners in Russia who are sincerely reporting from Russia, saying that the economic sanctions do not work. They think that not much has changed in Russia, in Russian stores, including food stores. There are still plenty of food and products available, no shortages. They are reporting that anything can be bought in Russia despite the sanctions. So I've decided to explain what's going on in a very simple way. I am going to use a Coca-Cola. It really doesn't get any simpler than that. We all know what Coke is. We all know how it tastes. I don't drink Coca-Cola usually, just for the sake of this video. So we all know how it tastes. We know how and where it's sold and how much it costs. So let's begin. On February 22nd, 2024, Russia invaded Ukraine. Russia went mad, and most countries in the world started hitting Russia with the easiest weapon at their disposal, the economic sanctions. Well, really all kinds of sanctions. Cultural, sports, exchange programs, scientific, military. But the most serious sanctions were economic, have been economic. The goal of the sanctions has been to weaken Russian economy to the point where Putin could no longer wage the war on Ukraine. Soon after the invasion, Russia became the most sanctioned country, no, not in the world, in the history of humankind. Right now, there are over 13,000 of different kinds of sanctions. Russia has been isolated, it's been ostracized. Yet, many people make an argument that the sanctions exist only on paper, that the sanctions don't affect lives of regular Russian people. Some say not much, some say they don't affect at all. And the perfect example of that is when someone goes to a food store. Somehow people expect that the economic sanctions would bring food shortages. And they're seeing a very opposite picture. There are still plenty of foods available at Russian stores. This situation is not even close to the USSR, and it's completely different territories. It's like Mars and Venus. I take it that people are expecting to find this situation with the sanctions like it was in the USSR. You walk into a store right now in Russia and you see empty shelves and food shortages. Now, this is where this can of Coke comes into play. I haven't had it in quite some time. Tastes too sweet for me, but this is classic, regular Coca Cola. This product, right here in my hand, that you all know, can be bought in Russia. Classic Coca Cola. That is despite the fact that the bottling company Coca Cola left Russia a long time ago in 2022. Now, this is a real Coke. I mean, I'm sitting in Uzbekistan, but I know that you can buy it at some stores in Russia. Real deal, real stuff. This very same can is on sale in many stores in Russia, say in Moscow. Not just in Moscow, really. In many other cities and towns, even villages, you still can buy it. I watch a lot of material on YouTube that is filmed in Russia. And recently I happened to watch a video of a blogger who I know personally, an Australian living in Moscow. He was doing a review of a large food supermarket. Great stuff. Reporting from the sanctions battleground, so to speak. And, he was showing with his camera different foods, different products at the shelves. And he specifically pointed his camera at the aisle of pop sodas. And he showed Coke, the original product, just like this one. And he was kind enough to show us that the can was actually bottled in the UK. In the UK! And he was kind enough to show us the price. And it was 169 rubles for a can of Coca-Cola, bottled in the UK. Now, a little bit of history. Coca-Cola entered Russian market back in 1991. At first, Coca-Cola, it was called Coca-Cola Hellenic Bottling Company. It was called in Russia that way. It simply imported its products that were bottled someplace else, some other countries, usually in neighboring Turkey. That was the closest place. But Coca-Cola quickly made a decision and built own bottling plants. And one of the first plants actually opened in the city of Rostov-on-Don, where I lived. At the time, I remember I even applied for a job of a sales representative back in '95. It was a very prestigious, highly paid job. Oh, I didn't get the job because at the time I was a full-time university student and they needed someone full-time to work in the office and in the field. So, I clearly remember that time. It was a great employer. In 1995, Coca Cola started bottling drinks inside Russia. And the purpose of that was to make Coca Cola products cheaper and make the delivery time shorter. And the goals were reached. Before 95, when Coke was imported from Turkey, it was a very expensive product. We couldn't easily afford that. I don't remember exactly how much a bottle of Coca Cola cost, but I clearly remember that we couldn't afford it. It was a luxury product, and we had to save money to buy it. Yes, no joke. A bottle of Coca Cola. And after Coke opened, well, not Coke, but Coca Cola opened first plants in Rostov and Volgograd, I believe, Coke became affordable. It became a soda drink that we could have every single day. It became cheap because it was bottled in Russia. Now, let's fast forward to February 2022, just before the war. Russians love Coke. There are 10 Coca Cola bottling plants all over Russia. In Moscow, in Sholkovo, in Istra, in St. Petersburg, in Rostov-on-Don, in Samara, in Ekaterinburg, in Novosibirsk, in Krasnoyarsk, and in Vladivostok. Besides classic Coca-Cola, the company bottled different products: Fanta, Sprite, Burn, Fuse Tea, Schweppes. Also, they bottled still drinking water called Bon Aqua and different fruit juices. Dobry, Moya Semya, Reach. Coca-Cola products can be found literally in every food store in the country. Small, big, tiny, or huge. You know, this 330 milligram can of Coca-Cola back then cost 39 rubles. On February 23rd, 2024, 39 rubles. And then the war started. And then the economic sanctions arrived very soon. Let's fast forward to now. Coca-Cola Hellenic Bottling Company left Russia in the summer of 2022. It ceased and desisted, including recording great financial losses. It sold its plants to buddies of Putin, well, kind of forced to sell, for cents on dollar. Coca Cola Classic is not bottled in Russia any longer. Former Coca Cola plants are bottling this. Check this out. Oops. Camera is not focusing. Anyway, this product right here is supposed to replace Coca-Cola. It's actually called Dobry Cola, the good cola. But I personally have a different name for it, crab cola. I tried it, just for the sake of comparison, right after Coca-Cola Hellenic Bottling Company, the real deal, left Russia, and this was bottled. And I actually found this product tasted identical to Coca-Cola Classic. Now, 2.5 years later, I'm gonna have another can. You know what? They taste different. This is Coca Cola Classic. And this used to taste just like Coca Cola Classic. It's different. Not much, but you can clearly taste the difference. Perhaps it's a different kind of sugar or different kind of ingredient. I don't know. The crab cola tastes different. Now, not too many people know that Coca-Cola isn't about soda, really. It's about standards, corporate standards. One of the most advanced companies in the world, one of the largest companies, it maintains the highest quality standard at all bottling plants. It produces the same product no matter where it's produced. In Uzbekistan, in the UK, in the USA, in Australia, it's the same. It has highest safety standards, quality control, supervision, maintenance, you name it. It's about standards. The crab cola simply cannot compete because it's run by local management that didn't build the company, didn't build plants, didn't build the technology. Instead, they acquired everything for peanuts. And they're using it, the best they can to squeeze as much money out of the stuff as possible. Tastes absolutely different. So, all plants of Coca-Cola will deteriorate slowly but surely. It already tastes different. They're doing something differently from Coca-Cola, okay? I don't know what it is. Please, don't take my word on it. Taste it for yourself. You'll see the difference. Now, at the same time, real Coca-Cola still can be bought in Russia. Not everywhere, usually in large cities, at large food supermarkets, but it can be bought. It can be bought. Only now, the very same Coca-Cola that used to cost 39 rubles costs 169 rubles. That is 4.5 times more than it cost 2.5 years ago. The price is 450% higher, and classic Coca-Cola is bottled in other countries. And now I'm going to show you why. There are actual, real reasons behind it. But before I'll tell you about that. I'd like to thank you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you, the community, for supporting. Thank you for not leaving the channel while I was sick. I was medicated for a month. I had Bell's palsy. Thank you for all your emails, for all your prayers, for all your support, for all your love. I feel the love. I feel your attitude. I feel your support. Thanks for everything. Thank you for the coffees. Thank you for sending money through PayPal. Thank you for becoming patrons. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is one of the best things that I receive from YouTube is you, the community, and your support. Thank you so much. Demonetized or not, still demonetized, yes. Sick or not sick, healthy. I continue to broadcast every day as long as I physically can. Thank you again. Thank you, friends. There's so much gratitude from me. So now, going back to review of the supermarket. The can of Coca-Cola that was shown was bottled in the UK and brought to Russia through a very long, sophisticated, and expensive supply chain. This is how a can of regular Coca-Cola traveled to a Moscow store before the economic sanctions. If you look at this map, you will see Moscow, and there was a bottling plant right outside Moscow. And It had a large warehouse from where cans and bottles were distributed to nearby Moscow stores. So uh, logistics were very simple. Now, this is how Coca-Cola, the very same can, only bottled in a different country in a different plant, travels to Moscow now, passing 5 or 6, perhaps more countries. Check this out. It's bottled somewhere in the UK. It travels throughout Europe, most likely to Turkey. Again, I did not trace the particular bottle of Coke that is sold in Moscow, but I have a pretty darn good idea how Russians circumvent sanctions and bring different goods to Russia. They usually do it through either Turkey, China, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. Okay, so this is a potential route through entire Europe to Turkey, through Turkey to Kazakhstan, and from Kazakhstan to Moscow. Imagine the costs associated with this long path. There are 2 problems with that. First, the increased cost, of course. Again, check this out. A can of Coke must be physically brought to Moscow, going through different places, not in a straight line. And that is the first problem. And we are seeing exactly that in Moscow stores. The price for a can of Coca-Cola is 450% up. But there's another problem, limited supply. You simply cannot transport large amounts of Coke through the other countries. And on top of that, you buy Coca-Cola in the UK for British pound. And Russian ruble keeps devaluing. So you pay more and more in rubles for Coke to sell to Russian customers. They really pay more and more. Yes, having the bottling plant next door makes very much sense. It's really convenient and it's economical. I know. But this is not Russia any longer. So if we're talking of food, there are 2 types of products in Russia. Food products, imported and domestically produced. This simple example of the can of Coke shows that the imported products, foreign-made products, they still make their way to Russia. They still can be found on the shelves of Russian stores. But they are sold for so much more now. And there is a good reason for that. Like I said, long and expensive logistics and payments in foreign currency. So when you hear people say, oh, look at Russian food stores, they're full of food and you still can find everything. That is not a very correct way to describe the situation. You've got to compare apples to apples. And comparison would be the prices. Compare the prices of the products available at the store. Look at the labels to see where they were produced or bottled. The labels always say that in Russia. It's a law. Prices are the key point here. People who could afford Coca-Cola at 39 rubles in the past, they can't really afford, well, at least some of them, they cannot afford the very same Coca-Cola for 169 rubles. Now, to them, that Coke might as well not be there because it's simply unaffordable. They can't buy that any longer. Now, do you know that in the USSR, we could also buy anything? That is true. We could buy classic Coca Cola, just like this bottle right here. Well, not, we didn't have cans back then. It was something like that, a bottle. So we could buy this. We could buy blue jeans. We could buy VCRs with tapes with American movies. We could even buy foreign cars. Surprised? Please don't be. In the USSR, we had three kinds of stores. First, stores for everyone, for regular citizens, for people like me and my parents. And this is how the stores for us looked like. And this is exactly how I remember them in Rostov-on-Don and the villages where my grandparents lived. They had nothing. You couldn't find anything there because they were literally empty always. And these stores, you always paid rubles. The currency we had. We were paid in rubles and we paid in rubles for stuff. Second kind of stores we had in the USSR were for the selected privileged few, and they were called Berezka. And that was different kind of stores. One could buy foreign-made products such as Coca-Cola, blue jeans, Western clothing, Japanese VCRs and TV sets, even computers in the 80s. But they did not accept rubles there. Only special currency called the checks. That's another picture of a store like that. Yeah, the checks, checky. And the checks were distributed to the right people, among the right people. The catch was there was a black market for the special currency checks. A regular person could buy the checks for a pretty penny, of course. Nominally, one check equaled 1 ruble, but I think, it was a long time ago. You could buy one check for either 6 or 10 rubles. These two numbers are in my head. So if it's 10, pretty much you had to pay 10 times, 1,000%. So things were available in the USSR, but were they affordable? Moreover, those who didn't have checks, they couldn't even get into the stores. You had to be either on the list or somehow you had to be, they had to let you in. There was always a police officer standing there at the front. And the third way to buy things in the USSR was called толчок. And, flea market. Or in Russia it was called, in the USSR it was called birds market. Every major city had one. Oh, you could buy anything there, even foreign cars. Clothing, food, anything for a penny. Well, for a ruble, for thousands of rubles. It was a classic black market. And I remember I loved visiting black markets like that. I was widening my horizons. I was learning about the world, that there were things that I didn't even know about. But anyway, Russia right now is heading towards the very same Soviet system. Only Russia is in the beginning. Foreign-made products are still available, but they have become, at least some of them, very expensive now. And it is becoming increasingly more difficult to pay for them due to the financial sanctions from foreign banks. And it's becoming increasingly more difficult to physically bring them to Russia because of logistics are very complicated now. So the sanctions are working. There's no question about it. They aren't seen on the shelves, or you can only see the prices on the shelves that they reflect the sanctions. But the sanctions are truly, really behind the shelves, in the warehouses, in the banks, in the trucks, on the border, in the bribes that people pay to get them into Russia. That's what the sanctions are. And that all consolidates into higher prices. And, first it's higher prices, but then there will be less supply because companies will simply not going to bring them because there will be limited demand. And the consumers, they haven't seen, the sanctions much. Hey, you still can buy Coca Cola or Pepsi Cola bottled in the UK, and it tastes, just like we used to, the real deal. Not like this crab cola. Must be the sugar. It's different. I don't know. If you can get your hands on, check it out. Taste for yourself. So anyway, the consumers, they're still seeing that they can buy things. Okay, they can buy, again, Coke or Pepsi bottled in the UK. They can buy carrots grown in Israel. Yes, they do sell Israeli carrots. Don't ask me why. I've always bought carrots from Israel. It's just tasted better. People can buy diapers produced in Japan. They can buy Grey Goose vodka distilled in France. They can still buy that. The question is, what price will they pay? And will they be able to afford that in the future? The sanctions are just like garrote, slowly tightening around the neck of Russian economy, sucking money out of it and slowly contributing to negative economic effects such as inflation. Well, they really are lowering the living standard of regular Russian people. Yes, it is regular Russian people who are picking up the bill for the war in Ukraine at the end. So the next time someone tells you that the sanctions aren't working in Russia, not hurting Russian economy, and Russian people not hurting Russian people, shove the words down their throats. Because they are working, and they're working well. Not overnight, but slowly and surely. Thank you. Friends, before I turn the live stream chat on, and I invite everyone to share your opinions and talk about that, I would like to remind everyone that there are plenty of news coming out of Russia, and I cover such news. I make them available to patrons of Inside Russia. Every day I identify, carefully select, and post 9 news that I find important with my commentaries analysis. So I'll keep you informed on everything you wanted to know about Russia, but didn't know where to ask. And I am turning the live stream chat on right now, and that is the best part of any stream for me. This is actually exciting. This is the first time in so many days. Fantastic to see everyone. Again, thank you for coming. We have about 5,000 people, which is awesome. I missed everyone. I missed the community. I missed streaming. I missed everything. I like the process. I find it important. I find it enjoyable. So let me just turn the live stream on. First of all, I'd like to start by informing you that if you're here for the first time, or in case you forgot, this community inside Russia has the best moderation team in the world. Lorna, Mami K, Bob S, Harry Potter, Amir Fazat, and Dirk. Fantastic friends and the best mods you can find anywhere. So thank you, friends. And thank you, the community. You're awesome and you rock. I missed you a lot. And so I see a lot of comments already. If you want me to notice them easier, please put in all caps and put Inside Russia after @ sign. So I see it highlighted in a large orange box. So fantastic to see everyone. Oy, oy, oy. I see the familiar faces and names: Airborne Snail, Terry, Stefan, Patscally, of course the mods: Lorna, Bob, Mommy, Lilith Eden, Angela McNaw, Baker Stock, PL Demery Gray, Pamela, Tom, Kermo, Sam the Legend, Roy Cousins, George Rames, Great Southernland, Lucas, Palm Tree Kate, Sandra, Royal Oak, Mac, Dennis. All right, and everyone else: Jack, Gregory, Hone, Death Storm, Alucius. Thank you, friends. Thank you for coming back. So let's catch some comments. Bob, Baker Stock, howdy. Tom, Sam, Bobby, so happy to see you looking better. I guess I'm having a bad hair day. Well, feeling much better. A short update on my health. Recovered. The face is recovered. I'm not even. Well, there's still asymmetry there, but that's okay. Not a big deal. I recovered fairly quickly. I guess it's the perfect. It's like best case scenario. That's what happened to me. It only took me 4 weeks of pretty darn heavy medication. The reason I didn't stream is because I just didn't feel good on meds. They slowed me down a great deal. I slept a lot. I was not as sharp, and my pills are done, thank goodness. So I'm back to normal. So thank you so much for good words. Bonnie, okay. Lucas, thank you so much. Yeah, it was called Checky. Uh, he's back. Drawbridge, thank you so much. Yes, I am back indeed. Still alive, still breathing. Yeah. News happened to me yesterday. Buy Me a Coffee banned me. Well, blocked my incoming payments. I'm appealing right now. I don't really know what's going on, but that's another blow. Blow after blow after blow, friends. Well, you know what? No matter what, I still go live every single day. Fudge them. Mac, why should average Russians worry about the price of Coke made abroad when they can no longer afford butter made in Russia? Well, Mac, I explained how the principle of how the sanctions work, but they work not just for Coca Cola, but for everything. Because very little is manufactured, produced in Russia. Russia imports everything, okay? Let's take butter. Butter is going up in the price for the very same reason. The biggest manufacturer of butter, producer of butter in Russia, is a company called Danone, and it's French. It used to be French. It was simply stolen from the French, and people who stole it, well, in Russia, technically they didn't steal it, okay? But they just took it according to the law, and it just tells you what kind of law in Russia. But people who took it, they cannot run it properly. And they're running the company to the ground. And it's only been 6 months. And the output of butter is dropping. Output of everything is dropping. And there's nothing they can do because the French management is gone. And everything is going up in price. Logistics, hey, remember the strikes on Russian oil refineries? The prices are going up now. It took some time, but hey, they're just skyrocketing. Packaging is not made in Russia. It's imported. You know, the packaging for butter. So it's going up in price because of the logistics, because of, you know, I just showed you on a can of Coke. And fertilizers for cows, imported. Medicine for cows, imported. Everything is imported in the supply chain. That's why price of butter is going up. Same as Coca Cola is going up. You know, replace Coke with anything, with butter, with eggs, with milk, with clothing, with cars, just anything. Okay, and then you get the same idea. Mardi the Faithful, the checks you mentioned, were they from Внешпосылторг? I'm not sure. I don't think they were from Внешпосылторг, but they were from Внешторг, I think. Could be from Внешпосылторг. You're very close. Dacian Rider, thank you so much for good words. Sam, Nonia, my dad has same thing you do. You will recover fully. God bless. Thank you so much, friend. That's encouraging. Raider Core TX, good to see you. From Ray and Rachel from Texas, thank you, friends. Thank you. Sending love to Texas, where I heard everything is bigger and better than in other places. Yes, please, no U.S. political topics. I don't ever understand why people would discuss politics, U.S. politics here. Okay, we're about Russia. We're about what's happening inside Russia. Verdammt 23, thank you so much. I'm glad you can comment. I remember we had problem with that. Eric Moran, I understand Russians import everything, even soldiers. And you're absolutely right, from North Korea. Terry, have the prices in Tashkent gone up too? They have gone up, but not much, and there are completely different reasons for that. Uzbekistan is economically growing, and the growth is robust, and that has economic effect on everything, including prices. There's little inflation here, but the prices are going. People are becoming richer here. They make more money. They can afford more. Therefore, the sellers are using this situation. Hi G, nice to see the light in your eyes again. It's back. Thank you. I'm off the pills. I can speak normally. I can move my face. I can smile. That's actually good. Thank you. Please explain sign-up bonuses for soldiers. Compare sign-in in Belgorod with sign-in in Omsk. I've explained before. I mean, they're buying people with money, and they actually killing them because one of the senators' telephone conversation, private telephone conversation, was intercepted and made public. And basically, he was telling that, we're just buying this useless Russian man who can't earn money, who are uneducated, who don't know much, who actually fall for the trap of getting sign-up bonus. We're sending them and we're getting rid of them because they're just useless. They're not needed. Okay, so we're doing the country a favor, something like that. And I'm gonna make a stream about that. Please keep tuning in. That's atrocious. But that's what sign-up bonuses mean, really. They give you 2 million rubles, which is $20,000, and send you to the meat grinder. You die in a few weeks. And then your family gets some more money. Signing in Belgorod, signing in Omsk, I can't tell you right off my head the different amounts, but I can tell you that the amounts in every province are different. And there is a federal sign-up bonus and local, the provincial. They're all different in provinces. Don't quote me on that, but I think the largest bonus right now is 3 million rubles, and I think it's in Moscow. In other cities, they are like million rubles. So if you sign up in one province, you might get million. If in Moscow, another province, you get 3 million. It's unregulated by the federal government. Each province has a right to allocate funds from its budget and pay people. And there's also a federal bonus, sign-up bonus, and that's 400,000 rubles, $4,000. So when you sign up, you get whatever you get from the province, and you get $4,000 on top from the federal government. That's how I can explain. Double K, thank you so much. I am back indeed. Daniel McInnes, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Long time no see. Mommy, thank you so much. Friends, we have a tradition here inside Russia. When someone's birthday, we have a lot of who I call usual suspects, people who have been a part of Inside Russia community for a long time. And I am so grateful for everyone. I know a lot by name and by their names, and some by faces because of the pictures, and some we communicate through email. And I call them the pillars of Inside Russia. So one of the pillars is having a birthday today. Pinda, the peanut from Rotterdam, the Netherlands. I would like to wish happy birthday, but I usually sing. And I warn everyone before I start because, well, I'm not the best singer in the world. And I warn you so you cover up your ears so you don't break them, okay? So, there we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pinda the Peanut. Happy birthday to you. Wishing you many happy returns of the day. This, real Coca Cola, original taste, not like this one. So I'm using this one. I'm wishing you many happy returns of the day. Please stay healthy, travel a lot, continue traveling like you do. I wish you to visit many interesting places. Be surrounded by people who you love and who love you, who bring you joy, and have lots of coins in your pockets to support, your lifestyle, whatever wishes you have. Happy birthday. Thank you for being part of Inside Russia. Cheers, everyone. I have my regular tea. That's English breakfast. I'm back to drinking tea. Doctors cleared me. But it's mixing it with Coca Cola is actually not that great. Scott Nesbitt, howdy, good to see you. Dean Drago, good to see you. Thank you for coming. When you're feeling up to that love and aviation update, says Palm Tree Kate. It's in the works. I've been doing it for about 9 months now. It's time to release it. So it's coming up. I will do an aviation update, and it's going to be quite interesting. I have the name for it. The name is Why Do Russian Planes Keep Falling? Because they will fall. There's no question in my mind. Russo Jab 2. Russia is under the curse of the Romanovs. Very possible. You could say that. I agree somewhat with it. Stefan, thank you so much for coming. Great Southern Land. Making butter isn't rocket science, but you need people to work at making it. Impossible if all are drafted. Great Southern Land. It's not about making butter. You are absolutely right. It's not rocket science. My parents used to make, my grandparents used to make butter themselves. They had a cow and we had fresh butter. In order to make butter, you need to have milk. And that's where the problem is. Last year, a lot of farmers started killing their cows because too expensive to raise cows, and the cost of milk the price of milk simply didn't cover their expenses. So Russia is having fewer and fewer cows, therefore less milk, and there's nothing to make butter out of. So there you have it. Lucky Lumi. Do Russian people realize what you are saying? Or they look somewhere else, as you previously said about people avoiding difficult information about the war? They are avoiding. I mean, all started complaining about prices. Everyone who I talk to in Russia, they go, you know what, the prices are just insane. Every single person. So they do know their food prices, but they still are in informational bubbles. Where can I get some crap cola? Huh? You like my name? Well, it doesn't taste like crap, but it sure does taste different, okay? It's just like McDonald's. You go to this tasty period, that's how McDonald's is called now in Russia, and you find the same menu and more or less the same taste, but you start telling the difference, okay? Because it doesn't taste the same. Some things still taste very similar, but it's not McDonald's anymore. It's not the same standards. It's not the same management. It's not the same quality control. It's not the same suppliers. I don't want the scrub cola. I want like real deal, real stuff. Rene, thank you so much. I spent 30 days resting, basically. I didn't do much. I'd better look better than before. Philip, Hamrick, thank you so much for praying. I'm saying thank you, thank you, thank you, because believe it or not, but I have felt the prayers. I have felt love that you've been sending me. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. Katharina Holm, thank you so much for coming. Fantastic to see you. The Red Scorch. Can you release a full video of you singing Barbie World? What do you want? you know, it's like the biggest embarrassment of my life. I doubt I can do that. Simon, do you think using North Korean troops is a sign that Russia itself can't satisfy their own demand anymore with conscripts? Yes, I think so. Otherwise, they would be conscripts. All right, friends, I would like to keep the live streams a little limited on time. I'm still trying to figure out good time, and I would like to sleep more at night. It means that I have to start streams a bit earlier, and they shouldn't run them for too long. So a few more minutes, and we'll finish with a prayer. Alu, it's really weird to see you drinking Coke and not tea. Glad you're feeling better. Well, for the sake of the live stream, that's probably the only time you can see me drinking Coca Cola. I gave up a long time ago. I don't like the taste. It's too sweet. It's I don't know. We don't have soda in our house. Pinda, did they already send women to the front lines? I heard that somewhere. The prisoners, women prisoners, female prisoners, they go to female prisons now and, send women to the front lines. That's interesting comment. A heaven, don't drink it then. You know that Coca Cola makes other products, milk, tea, juice. Sorry, you can't afford it. I can't afford the feeling I'm getting from this dumb video. Bye. I don't think this video is dumb. I actually think it's pretty good. Okay. But thank you for giving me a chance. Again, I'm drinking Coke just for the sake of this live stream. I thought that, showing you would be more of effect than just sitting and talking about it. Okay. So, I'm sorry if you offended, but if I had a chance, I wouldn't do anything else, anything different. I'd do the same thing. I think it's pretty amazing stream today. Richard Burris, hope family is doing well. Family is doing well. We took a little vacation, a few days, and I brought my mom from Russia. She's currently with us. I had a fantastic time. All the time I spend with family is just absolutely great. Would you say immigration from Russia is still significant in the moment? It's increasing. It's increasing. It's worth another stream actually. It's increasing. Please keep on tuning in. I will talk more about it. VJ John, good to see you. Did you ever consider replacing Buy Me Coffee to coffee? Well, I just learned about coffee yesterday. Okay. Um, I will be forced to do that if Buy Me Coffee shuts me down. I didn't do anything. Anything. You gotta understand, I don't even post anything on Buy Me Coffee. There's no way I could violate their policy in any way possible. You buying me coffee for obvious reason. Okay, this is your way of saying thank you to me for what I do. Okay, and I appreciate that so very much. But every single transaction is transparent, and it's clear what the source of the coffees is. And yet they shut me down. I'm telling you, I feel more and more like there's a hunt announced on me. Okay, it's YouTube, it's Buy Me Coffee. What's next? Patreon. What's next? PayPal. And you gotta understand, it's not registered in Russia. It's registered in the United States for an American company. So there's no excuse. Oh, because you're Russian. No, 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 no. Doesn't work that way. I learned my lesson a long time ago. How is the coffee at Tasty Period? Bitter. Thank you so much, Duma. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you. Dean, I think that's exactly what is happening. Bots, trolls are torpedoing me. Okay. It means that I'm doing something right. I'm stepping on someone's toes, and they're noticing, and I'm becoming, you know, doing something right. Anyway, Lorna, thank you so much. Friends, I would like to invite everyone. Oh, hang on 1 second. I have to. It's been a long time since I had this. Friends, we finish live streams with prayers. I would like to pray. It's gonna be the first time in quite a few days, a few weeks. This is very important for me, and I invite everyone to pray along with me. Thank you so much. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this day, this week. Thank you for food that you placed on our tables. Thank you for the roofs you've put above our heads. Thank you for people who we love, you surrounded us with, and who love us. Thank you for our families. Thank you for our children, parents, grandparents, grandchildren. Dear Lord, please give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads safe, clear, and peaceful. Give us wisdom to raise our children the way that when they grow up, they will never engage in any war. Just will love each other and be friends to each other. For now, please keep our children safe and healthy. Dear Lord, please help Ukraine and Ukrainians. People have suffered so much. They need break. They need peace. I'm asking for your help to bring peace to Ukraine. Please reach out the hearts and souls of those who are responsible and capable of making the decision to bring peace. Fill their hearts with love. Remind them that they're still human beings. Wake them up from the lethargic sleep so they make that decision to stop the bloodshed. Please help every Ukrainian who has been affected, answer the prayers, and make the dreams come true. Dear Lord, please help my country, Russia. Assemble your strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael, and send them to this earth to get rid of the demons who have hijacked my country, who we know by their names and by their faces. Please send your angels to run the country by good Russians who will make it peaceful, respecting and loving. Dear Lord, please help everyone who is traveling right now. Send safe travels. Send everyone who is in danger. Send safety. Help everyone who is seeking for asylum. Send good people and help. Please help single mothers and fathers raising their children and struggling, trying to make ends meet. Please help those who are helping Ukrainians. Please help the Ukrainians who are currently under attack or possibility of attack by Russian missiles. Please keep everyone safe. Dear Lord, please help those who are addicted, hungry, homeless, jobless, cold, sick, depressed, losing their faith, feeling alone in this world, betrayed, deserted. Please help everyone in need. Reach out and touch their hearts. Show them that you are right next to them. You have not abandoned them. You love them. You watch every step they take. You are sending angels to help. Please have them feel your love. Have them feel that you are with them. Please help everyone in need. Dear Lord, thank you for our community. Thank you for us meeting and praying again. Thank you for everyone who's praying along with me right now or simply watching us pray. Thank you for this community. Please help every single person who's a part of Inside Russia or regularly tunes in to watch the live streams and pray and participate in the chats or simply watches, once in a while. Thank you so much. Please answer everyone's prayer right now and make everyone wish comes true. Dear Lord, I would like to mention a few people who need your help. They are Ann Larson and her daughter Hannah, Jeffrey S. and family, Alex from Albuquerque, Mark Rutan, Tom W., J.R. McKim, Gabing with Gary, Lisa Cumrian, Harry Potnan, Terry Carter, John McLean, Linda Trombley, Paula W., Dennis, Jason Carney, Susie Mailer, Tom Mayers, Dory, Rhonda McGillis, John, Taylor, Wayne, Dave, Don, Darla, George Ruberty, Pamela J., Meta Spencer, David Porter, his family and everyone who is in Chernovtsi, Ukraine, Leif, Randolph, Grace, Dean Spooner and his church, Yelena, Natasha, Michael, Jake, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Svetlana, Sergey, Liz, Ron Klotzer, Liz Dumbrell, Koshkin Dom, Sandra, Mike and Mike, Petra Olson, Joseph Abide, Melissa, Jodes Rames, Greg, Millie, Philip Radcliffe, Eileen from Ireland, and Frank from Texas. Thank you so very much, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you, friends. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for giving me a chance. This, live streaming and sharing my thoughts on things Russia and chatting with you and praying with you is really hugely important part of my life. I've understood it even better by not streaming for quite a few days. So I'm really glad to be back. Thank you for coming. I would like to remind you that you are awesome and you rock. And please come back tomorrow. I'm going to have a very interesting live stream. It's not going to be chat because, I'm just afraid that there would be some, well, let's put it this way, there would be a lot of moderation needed because I'm going to be talking about America's 47th President Donald Trump, how Russians, the Kremlin, and the regular people see him from Russia. Okay, so that's going to be either a video or a live stream with no chat, just a message and prayers. And then please come day after tomorrow, and from then on, there will be live stream chats as usual. So again, you're awesome and you rock, and I would like to ask you a favor before I sign off. Repeat after me as loud as you can, out loud. Carthago delenda est.